Hi, good morning. Hi from Mariana. Wow, Women of Worth. Welcome, everybody, and welcome, Deborah Maw. Good morning, Deborah. How are you doing?
I'm really well, thank you.
I'm so excited having you today. And for who doesn't know me, oh wow, Walk the Talk Festival, we are interviewing for the occasion of International Women's Day for the month of mid of February up to mid of March is a women's celebration. Women's celebration, women in business celebration that they want to show their human side. That's why we're talking about the theme. I am human. The worth of women is here unfolds through connections, which is really, really the core of this campaign. Briefly, I would like to introduce the audience about why we chose I Am Human as theme, and definitely from human to magic in a second we're going to surprise people, so that's why Deborah is here. I Am Human is like a reminder to women in business and women, generally speaking, about the fact that despite we got this artificial intelligence in our house, anyway, in our home every day, we are human. With that means that we need to recognize ourselves, surrender to ourselves. There are limits, fears, and sometimes we just need to accept, embrace it in the good way, the fact that there are these limitations, because we are not machines. We have emotions. It's so important to understand and remind ourselves that we don't have to push too much the bar, otherwise we are going to collapse. And that is the difference between a machine and being human. So with this campaign, we really want to interview women in business which have the pressure of being like a machine, but actually instead they are putting forward their heart, first of all, in order to have a human element, to make sure that it's contagious and actually is easier to perform because it's aligned with their passion, and in the meantime attract the right people. So I really wanted to point this out. And this is a heart handmade by a designer, the captain of our festival relay in Naples, Patrizia Visone. That's been designed and handmade from her, as becoming our bastion for the rest of the year. So I'm going, now I am in Milano, I'm going to go back to Naples with the same heart, and we were there 2 weeks ago. So said that, I'm really excited to introduce you to Deborah. So Deborah, let us know what you do. What is your magic world that you want to show to us as humans?
Okay. So yeah, I'm a master astrologer, and I'm a nomad. I live in a van. I'm currently in Glastonbury, which is probably, well, it's known to be the heart of the UK, the spiritual heart of the UK, and
Wow.
yeah, and astrologically, we're in a very, very significant time at the moment, particularly over this month that you're doing your thing. Yes, it's very much based around Piscean energy, which is very much about the imagination. Well, that's something AI can't do.
Exactly.
It doesn't have an imagination. And us humans, what makes us really different to other animals is that we have an imagination, that we are creative. Um, Otherwise we're just animals. We do exactly the same as animals, but
Yeah.
we are different. We are a very special type of animal because we have this ability to imagine and therefore to create. So
This
that's
is
what I help
fantastic.
people with. I help people
Uh,
to release their creative genius.
oh, this is great. Honest. This is very, very powerful because, as you said, the fact that it's making us different imagination. Animals survive. They eat. They have functions. They have sex to reproduce, just for the sake of keeping the reproduction. But what makes us different is the imagination, is creating things, and that is absolutely marvelous because nothing is replaceable like imagination. And let us know. So you're teaching this, and how is impacting the people the kind of work you're doing? So what is the outcome they can get from you?
Okay, so I know you're going to ask me in a minute what my word of the year is, but can I tell you now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so it's freedom. So I believe that the core value for humanity is freedom. Um, Animals in general, wild animals, have freedom.
Yeah.
And originally, as humans, we were free too. But more and more and more, we are losing our freedom. And particularly, I mean, AI is really just contributing to that as well, because, it tells us what to do, and it does a lot of things for us, which means, yes, it frees us up to do other things, as long as we are aware that that is what needs to happen, that we are being freed up to use our imagination in order to be more creative. Um, so, yeah, my core value is freedom. And astrology, because it's able to look at, it's like a mirror. It can reflect back to people exactly who they are and what it is they're interested in, and particularly what it is that they're a genius in, what it is that they're really good at, what it is that there's a strange noise. I don't know if it's coming from your
Yeah,
end.
yes, my end. Yeah, is
Okay,
ambulance. Yeah.
okay, that's fine. Yeah, so it's like a mirror, and it reflects back to people um, what it is that they're really good at, what it is that they're passionate about, what it is that they are a genius in, because we're all a genius in something. And often I can see that in somebody's chart. So at the time, each one of us, at the time we were born, we have a unique blueprint. It's like the planets in the heavens were making a very specific pattern at the time that we were born. And
Mhm.
by looking at that pattern, we each it's like a blueprint. And I can see what people should be naturally gravitating towards, what it is that they're really interested in, or they should be really skilled at. And it's incredible how many people do not live out that part of their chart. They do not.
Wow.
It's like they did when they were children, but then they abandoned it because they thought it was childish, or they were encouraged. I mean, I'm the same. I'm very artistic, and I wanted to do art as a child, but because I was clever, I was pushed into science. And it took me
Opposite.
a long time to understand that actually that wasn't my heart wasn't in science, and I had to come back to art. And it's something that we can see in the blueprint that we were born with. And so using that blueprint, people can start to take steps to free themselves, to release themselves from the constrictions that were imposed on them during their early lives, and even as adults. All this thing about burnout and exhaustion and stuff, I can usually see that in somebody's birth chart. I can see, okay, so for whatever reason you're feeling impelled, it's always fear that drives us. You're afraid of something, you're afraid of not being good enough or whatever. And
Mm.
and that then restricts us. It's a bit like the bars that I'm sitting in front. We end up in a cage but it's all in our mind.
Sure.
It's nearly always our own fears in our mind that are creating that. So when people see that in their birth chart and they go, oh, right, yeah, okay. And especially because we can pinpoint when that kicked in. What was it that happened that actually triggered that response? And then people go, oh, okay. And I say, do you believe that now? And they go, no. And I go, okay, so let's change it. You know, let's do something different. And then the chart then also shows how they can step out of it, how they can move into something different, and when, because it's a really good way of showing when is a good time to actually move on something as well.
Yeah.
So it's all about people expressing more of themselves and feeling freer.
And fun enough, because if they have carried out their life, like for example, you were telling us that you were in science, so you embraced that life instead of pursuing your passion, which was art. When you are realizing, and your clients are realizing that actually is not, they are living the role or living a life which is not really them, how they see their potential life that they have not lived is a scary thing. And when instead they embrace that, are they going to love themselves, that little person that left behind, more, and be more kind towards that potential person that instead now has got so I don't know if you make
Nothing is ever wasted. Nothing is wasted. So, you know, I spent years as a scientist, but I'm really good at research. You know, if I have to research something, I'm really good at it. You know, if I have to find, because I was a teacher as well, if I have to teach something, I understand how people learn.
yeah.
You know, so nothing is ever wasted. So it doesn't matter that you did something that was completely different to what it is that you want to move into now. It will still be useful.
Wow, this is powerful, because I think everybody's regretting. Say, if I would have known, I would have done, and people feel guilty towards themselves that not having been able to grasp at the time, as a feel of guilt. And this is a hope, saying, you know what, that was meant to be, maybe, and I'm just embracing it, and I will make the most of it. That is a great hope for people that regret not
Yes,
taking
and you know,
something.
I didn't go to art college. I wanted to go to art college as a teenager. I didn't go until I was age 48.
Wow.
And although I've been doing astrology for 35 years, I didn't come out properly as an astrologer until I was 65.
Wow. I love you. Honest. This is so powerful. It's so human, actually, which is, yeah, because at the end of the day, that shows the heart. And that is what's attracting us from the perfection of machines, that maybe you have all your career path, your life path, all designed. How boring is that? Isn't it? It's like a machine. If it's perfect, you just use it because you need to fulfill a function. But at the end of the day, what is really giving you feelings, emotions, and make your heart beat is the fact that, is something that is unexpected. When from the machine, everything is expected. From a human being, the input is something, and the output could be something else from every human, and that is the beauty of that. So going back then to the work you do for your clients. So how it works? You do group sessions? You do instead one-to-one? How it works?
Yeah, I do talks. That's currently, I'm in a speaking tour. That's why I've arrived in Glastonbury. I'm doing my 17th talk on the astrology of 2024 in Glastonbury tonight. And I do one-to-one with people from as little as half an hour, and to sometimes, you know, I work with people for months. And I also run workshops, and they're all very experiential. I believe in teaching through play and experience. So I use a lot of dressing up, a lot of fun, because, you know, astrology is all about the planets, and they each have a different personality. So we wear hats to look at the different personalities. And in fact, that's how I do my talks as well. And then and I also teach people to do astrology as a course, which is very short. Most people think that astrology courses take forever and are very hard and have a lot of maths. But I found a way of teaching it in 10 simple lessons, 10 short lessons.
Wow. And so when is going to be next then? The next
the next one's starting in April. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it's online, and I've done it because I know that people don't have time. So I've done it so that the lessons are short, 20 minutes. It's only 10, or it was 11, and then we just have 1 hour little group calls where people can actually ask questions. You know, if they're stuck on something, it's an opportunity for them to ask about what they're stuck on or get more information or whatever, you know. So yeah, it's really quick. And by the end of it, you can read an astrology chart.
Wow. Which is very powerful. And how did you see then the result of your work with your clients? How do you see them? Are you in touch with them afterwards when they finish the work with you? How they change? What is the transformation you see in them?
For most people, it's a sense of relief that they have a sense of the energies that are coming, because we're so, everything is changing so fast. It's it's like we're in shock, you know, because we're like, what the hell is going to happen next? And so when we look at a star map, when we look at our charts, or we look at the chart of the day, I do a daily astrology tip in Facebook, you know, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you want to find it. I've got it there somewhere. Is that we can go, oh, okay, that's the energy for today. So this is how I can best use it. And when we know our own birth charts, then we can go, okay, this is the energy I've got at the moment. How can I best use it? Or this is the energy I'm going to be having for the next year. How can I best use that? Because otherwise we're just bumbling about in the dark. And I mean, most people seem to find their ways anyway. And, you know, serendipitously, we're all affected by the stars anyway. But sometimes it's like, if we know that we have a choice, if we know that, well, actually, this could be really challenging, but if I work with it in a different way, I could use it to my advantage.
Yeah.
This is freedom. This is
True.
freedom from being batted about by the universe, you know, by whatever's going on in our environment. You know, when we learn that we have a choice, then
Yeah.
that's freedom.
And you are the example of living in a caravan. Wherever it takes you, your heart, and that means people that need your energy. That is freedom. So, have you ever imagined your life would have been at a point like this?
Well, I always wanted to travel when I was a child. So, yes, that was my core thing, was to travel.
Mm-hmm.
So, some travel very far, just travel up the road, being in different places, and yeah, exploring. Yes.
And so you told us that 2024 is imagination. So the astrology is around imagination. So what it means for us as a human, this is about us, is we are going to be more creative. What is the effect of the astrology with this?
Well, it only works. Yeah, potentially, yes. But only if we use our imagination. Most of us don't use our imagination very much. Trained out of it as children, we were told to stop daydreaming. So most of us never really got trained to use our imagination. But Einstein said that, you know, he never got anything new from his thinking mind. Everything came from the imaginal realm. He was able to draw it down from the imaginal realm through play. See, as adults, we don't play anymore. And so, yeah, I believe that we need to engage in more play, more imagination, because if you watch a child playing with sticks or mud or whatever, they're telling a story that they're drawing down and then expressing in that mud or the sticks or whatever. And as they continue, imagine pictures.
We lost you. I lost you for a moment.
They're doing learning, going.
We lost you for a moment. Hello. Hello.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Hello.
I can hear you now. Yeah, you're back.
Oh.
Yeah. So you were saying this, the children that
Where
draw.
did you lose me?
Yeah, when you said the children, they draw this imagination and tell the story.
Yes. So
Through
they're drawing down stories from their imaginal realm and then translating that into something material, something practical.
Yeah, so we need to play more. I totally agree. I like to play, and sometimes I'm childish, and I really enjoy to, especially with my girlfriends, my friends that we like to make up stories and then have fun. At the end of the day, it's boring talking about what's happening out there, but not boring because it's boring. Unfortunately, it's reality. We need to face it. But what can we do about it? Once we talk, we are draining the bad energy anyway. So with the play instead, we are releasing good energy. So yeah. So Deborah, I will talk with you for hours. And so thank you very much for showing what you can do for the human being themselves and connect with ourselves through your supports, how to read the birth chart and no making hoping, but definitely, as you said, a release about themselves, having freedom with imagination, be themselves. It's great what you're doing. And watch this space. Most probably, I'm telling the audience that, yeah, something magic is happening. We are going to do something with Deborah soon in London. Why not? Maybe in Milan at a point. I lost you. You are upside down. I see you upside down. I don't know why I lost you. Okay, that's fine. Okay, Deborah, thank you very much. And thank you for contributing to WOW Festival with your story and sharing what you're doing with your human element, your imagination. I love it. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon. Take care. Ciao, Deborah. Ciao, dear. Bye-bye. Bye. Yeah.